Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we'll be going over how breadboard works internally, i.e. one of these things. So you need to think about a breadboard as a bunch of metal strips. So literally inside here, going along these rows are just metal strips. Why are they metal strips? Well, remember, electricity, it flows through metal like butter, so it's going to flow through the metal. Hence, even though there's a whole bunch of holes, these holes are just for us to stick wires or components into, but underneath is just metal strips. The metal strips are in two different layouts. So you have one metal strip here and one metal strip here. These two metal strips, they flow from all the way across the board on these sides. So all the way across here. That's one strip. The other strip is on this side, all the way across here. So I've got a pair of metal tweezers. If I stick one in here and the other here, these two would be electrically connected. Right? Same if I did the same here. If I did the same here, etc. Right? And same for up here. So these are these two strips here, and again on this side exactly the same. This is what we use to supply power and ground to the breadboard. So what we'll do is we'll stick our positive end of our power supply, our battery, whatever we're using, into here or here, and the negative end into here or here. And you can do that anywhere along this whole strip, because remember, this whole strip is literally one strip going all the way across the board and another strip. So this breadboard here has 4 strips that go horizontally across it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Then it has a whole bunch of other strips that go the opposite way. So vertically from here to here. So you can see this one here is actually labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Right? So from here to here, from A to E, all connected. As you can see it's got numbers 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way down to 60. So it's got 61, 2, 3, 63 rows of electrical strips. So literally A1 here is connected to E1. Right? So there's one metal strip going from A1 to E1. Another metal strip, so there's nothing here in the middle. Literally no metal strip here at all. Nothing here, right? So F1 to J1 all connected. F1 and F2 not connected. Why? So you've got one metal strip here, one across, another metal strip F to J across, another metal strip here to here, another metal strip here to here. Right? So when you're putting in your components, if you wanted, for example, to put, let's say for example you had some components coming into this side and you wanted some components over here to be connected, what you do is you'd do something like this. Right? So if I put my tweezers in there, now F1 and E1, they are electrically, if this was obviously fully a conductor, I know it's not, but if this was just a wire, you'd be able to jump the electricity from F1 to E1. Right? That's electrically connecting them. But without anything plugged into it, then E1 and F1 are not connected. Same likewise for all the way down here. A63 and E63 are connected. F63 and J63 are connected. F63 and E63 not connected. Now this breadboard has numbers, which is nice. This is the one that I linked to in my first video. However, many of them don't have numbers, and that's fine. It doesn't make a difference. they're all generally laid out the exact same way. You have a positive and a negative on either side of the board. Sometimes you might only have one, but this positive, when you see the positive, it just means that this whole strip here along that same row is all connected, and the negative all connected. The positive and negative is actually technically irrelevant because they're not actually for positive and negative, they're just literally just metal strips. So it's just a guideline. I tend to stick to the guideline as much as I can, but you can reverse it and it won't make a difference. Literally, the only way to look at a breadboard realistically is a fancy looking labeled version of metal strips, and it means that because we're plugging components in, so for example here I've got a green LED, it just means that the breadboard allows me to easily plug in the component and it's going to stay there. If I shake it or whatever, it's not going to come out, but I don't have to do any soldering. So that's why they're mostly used for prototyping breadboards, and they are literally a must for any electrical engineering student. So if you're studying electrical engineering, make sure you practice a hell of a lot with these, get comfortable with these. So if I was to, for example, supply some power, let's assume that these tweezers are a power supply. So positive, negative, put it into here. Alright, so now there's some power supply. If I was to put this LED in here, then that LED would light up. It'd probably burn out as well, but it would light up. Why? Because you'd have the positive going all the way across to this at the positive end of the LED, going through the LED into the negative end, and then following across there to ground. If I put the LED like this, then these two are not connected and nothing would happen. Right? Again, if I was to do this with these two, let's say again, if these tweezers are my power supply, if I was to put this to negative and this to positive, what would happen? Nothing. The reason being is because you can see there's no electrical connection from this positive end to here, and there's nothing joining into here. So what I'd have to do here realistically would be to put like a little jumper cables in here, like this for example, and if I can get it like this for example, if I can get it in, yep, there you go. So now if my tweezers were a real power supply, you'd see that the power would flow from here positive into here, across into my LED, through the LED, into here, and then back to the negative end of the power supply. So it takes some time to get used to, really, but once you're used to it, it's easy. And I even still now, I still find myself making some very, very obvious mistakes with the breadboard. So yeah, this is one of those things where you're not going to learn from YouTube videos. You're going to want to buy the kit, practice. Just get comfortable with how these are wired. So again, one electrical strip across there, one across there, loads across here, one. These two are not connected, but obviously you can connect them, and then again one strip along here, one strip along here, and that's it. That's the breadboard for you. So let's get started. In the next one, what we'll do is we'll go through how to actually supply some power to these. Cool, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.